All right, guys, welcome back. So today's episode is going to be for those who can easily complete the beginner level. This is for the intermediate level, a step up. Or if you've been doing the beginner level for a few months and you feel like you want a little bit more of a challenge, here's some things you could do. Let's talk about ways to modify the squat. First of all, instead of just doing a regular air squat, change the pace. Do it really, really, really slow. Hold. Maybe a count of 3, count of 5, and come up. Really, really slow. Do that for 25 to 50 times, and trust me, it will feel very different than a regular air squat. It'll burn different. Another thing you do is a walking squat. Walking squat to the sides. So if you're walking, well, I would start with my legs kind of together, step into a squat, and then go the other way. Step into a squat, step into a squat. Now that's sideways. Of course, there's forwards, which is really more of a lunge, but you could walk in and together, or you can walk back and together. You could also walk on diagonals, so stepping out in a lunge this way, step out in a lunge this way. Be careful if you have bad knees. That's my advice on that. Another thing you do would be squatting in a backwards fashion, meaning keeping your legs together and sitting back. You'll feel it differently in your quads, okay? Then you could also do squatting with your legs turned out and very wide, almost like a sumo, big sumo wrestler, and doing squats like this. You're gonna feel it differently in your adductors, your different muscles, your hamstrings, even your butt, and squeeze each exercise and each rep. Another intermediate type of squatting motion could be using a chair. Not one with wheels, not one on a slippery floor, preferably up against some type of a wall, and simply stepping up and stepping down. Stepping up and stepping down. That's a more intermediate type of squatting motion that you can also incorporate anywhere without a gym. So let's talk about intermediate push-ups. So push-ups are push-ups. I mean, how are you going to change a push-up? Very easily, let me show you a couple different ways. Number one, if a regular push-up is done like this, or if you can't, you have to do it on your knees, you could change up your hand position. So putting your hands together like a diamond, putting them close together, and doing narrow, that's one type of push-up. Another one would be putting them slightly wider and maybe hands out, doing a wider push-up. That's a more advanced or intermediate push-up, okay? You could also change the height of one arm versus the other. So if one arm is higher than the other, do a push-up like that. Then change it. Do your push-up like that. You'll feel it working different areas and different muscles, particularly in the shoulders. As long as your wrists and your elbows are okay and your shoulders are okay to do this, go for it. So you got together, wide, up and down, and then you could also get really crazy where you can do them really, really slow. Believe it or not, that changes everything. It changes the whole dynamic of a push-up because most people can bang out push-ups, really fast. But can you do a push-up really, really slow and really, really slow? It's a lot harder. Try that for intermediate level push-ups. All right, guys, so we're back at the door for intermediate level pulling motions. In the basic, we showed you putting your feet here and pulling your body in. You can try keeping one hand on your chest and pulling with one hand, okay? You can also try turning your body sideways, pulling your body in this way. That feels very different. Almost a different way of hitting the latissimus dorsi, which is part of your lats. Pulling your body in this way. That's more of an intermediate type of a pull. Now, you can change your grip to an under grip, pulling this way. Some people like it more over, under. Play with that. If you have the ability to do an actual pull-up, whether there's a bar or some method, I don't recommend doing it on a regular door because you can mess up the hinges or the frame. But if you have ability to do pull-ups, start trying to do a pull-up. If you can't do a pull-up, use a chair. A chair is a great way to cheat using your leg muscle. So imagine this is a pulling motion, and I'm using my leg to pull myself up. That's a great way to cheat, especially at the intermediate level now for pulling. Several ways you can do your planks. You can do planks holding them here on your hands in a push-up position. Stay there for a while. You can do them on your elbows. Stay there for a while. If you want to get neat, you can do it on your side elbow, working on keeping your body in a straight position. Don't let it sag. You can do it on your other side like that. Right there, planks, core. You're not going to injure your discs. You're not going to hurt your back like you would when you do sit-ups. Don't do sit-ups. Sit-ups are bad. All right, guys, so now you've seen your push-ups, your air squats, your pulling motion, and some type of core strengthening like planking. And trust me, when you do, you're going to feel great. Your body's going to work better. Thanks for watching. Another intermediate type of squatting motion could be using a chair.